Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Michi Makes Up. In today's video, I will be reviewing these new Gucci lipsticks that I picked up during my most recent haul. If you saw my haul video, you know how excited I am about all of the items I got, but especially these trio of lipsticks. Gucci for spring launched 11 new shades that is spread across 3 different lipstick lines they have. And I picked out 1 shade per lipstick line, which I will do swatches for you and some comparisons against other matte lipsticks I already have in my collection. These 11 new shades have very obvious, or they're either brown tone or leaning towards brown tones. They're still considered neutral lipsticks, which is really great. It's just shifting that from like your rosy or beige nudes to more brown tone. And of all the luxury brands, as far as I could see this season, they're the only ones that kind of went in this direction with a heavy focus in lipstick and these type of tones. So overall, just really excited. I know a lot of you are interested as well. So let's get right into it. So first I have here in the satin finish is the shade. Hold on, let me show you the lipstick case. Gorgeous. This is in the shade Alina Sand. So while we see the brown here, this one is definitely rosy or has like a pink, deep pink tones to it. Dusty rose, you could even say, depending on your natural lip color. And actually, before I get into the other swatches, just real quick here, I am wearing Merit's matte lipstick. They launched their line of matte lipsticks just maybe about a month and a half ago, and this is in the shade Classic. This they had sent over to me as PR, so I'm just wearing it today to see how it feels, how it wears. It's been over 4 hours and I have not touched up at all. So I've had lunch, I've had a boba tea. It still looks pretty good. It does feel drying at this point, although even if I was wearing a satin lipstick, it would require touch-up by now. Just like moisturizing touch-up, not so much the color. But it has good stain power. And I'll do a video to talk about these Merit lipsticks more later on. So back to Gucci. The second shade I picked was in their matte finish. This is the lipstick case. Again, really gorgeous. I think these are some of my favorite luxury lipstick cases. And this is in the shade Fanny Rose. I've tried all of these lipsticks already. I've actually posted some, these hand swatches and photos of what it looks like on my lips on Instagram and TikTok already. So if you're not following me on social, you can do so. My handle is the same as my YouTube channel, Michi Makes Up, and you kind of get these sneak previews to makeup that I actually get. And sometimes I just create totally unique content for the social channels anyway. It just depends how much time I have. So that was Fanny Rose, and what I have next is the Transfer Proof Soft Matte Finish lipstick in the shade May Peach, and this one has a very obvious orange to it. In fact, I was inspired to wear this blazer because of this shade. In my haul video, I did, try to see if this is like plexiglass, acrylic. It's still heavy. I think it fits very well within the luxury aesthetic in terms of packaging, but I can't quite figure out what this is. I think this is just like maybe even thicker plastic. But if you know, please leave a note and give me your thoughts on this. Let me take this off and we'll come back for the lip swatches. I'm gonna go in and add a second application. I like that with the satin finish, even with just one generous single application, it did have really good payoff, and the formula allows you to build upon it. 2 applications and still doesn't feel too heavy. but you can see there's a bit more coverage. And because of my skin tone being light to medium, these are definitely, you know, still nude tone lipsticks, but on me it's going to appear darker, contrasting against my skin. However, being in the nude zone, I still feel like it's not pulling all the attention to my lips and taking that away from the rest of my makeup look. And sometimes that's exactly what you might be looking for. You want something that is, again, earthy, deeper tone, but not so much so that it, you know, kind of makes your eye makeup disappear, or even your blush suddenly becomes like too light when it's paired against a really deep tone, dark lipstick. So I think that's the power of deeper tone lipsticks that are still in the nude kind of category. I'm going to go in and add a very generous second application. Again, this formula allows for the product to build, although with my very generous single application, it did really adequately, you know, dispersed all the color onto the lips and give good color payoff. I think when compared to Lena Sand, I like the shade more because it's more mauvey. I think Fanny Rose is a really appropriate name to reflect for the shade. And it almost, you know, it almost looks like an Hermes lipstick I have in a satin finish, which I will take out to compare. But it does remind me of that, and I don't mind having a matte counterpart to the same shade. I didn't mention this in the beginning of the video, but all of these lipsticks are scented in quite the way you would expect for a luxury brand. I'm not a fan of scented lipsticks, of the perfumey floral type. The ones I do tolerate well are going to be anything that's on the sweet side. So vanilla, cookie, or chocolate, those I do well. Any of these like floral scented is, I just wish they would stop with that, honestly. But moving on. I'm going to put on a second application. My first application, while there was good pigment and a good amount of product being dispersed, I do see some areas here that could use more, so we're going to go back in to fill the rest. So this is with two applications, and I love the shade in this transfer proof finish. As we're doing that, let's get into some comparisons. I've taken out what I thought could be similar to the Gucci lipsticks in terms of shade, but now that I've tried them on again, I think we're still maybe not that similar. But anyways, we'll know in a sec here. So I have first from Chanel, their Velvet Matte in 227. And I'll swatch it just in between these two shades from Gucci. So as a reminder, this is Alina Sand and this is Fanny Rose. And we have something that is actually a lot more brown. And when we compare this next to these two shades, they definitely appear much more red or pink. Then I also have another Chanel Velvet Matte lipstick in shade 61 Intuitive. This is actually also part of like a nude range of mattes that they have in a deeper tone. And that's right here. This definitely appears more plum or purple in comparison, and notably deeper than any of these. I used to have one more Velvet Matte from Chanel that is more beigey than it is pink or plum. However, I've lost that one. I think I just you know, maybe I was using it and I didn't put it away, got out of the car, and it just like fell on the ground. But I can't find it. It was one of my favorite matte shades that I have, especially in this velvet formula from Chanel. It's very comfortable, and I cannot find it. So very sad. I'm gonna move on quickly so I don't think about it too much. And then I have some Lisa Eldridge matte lipsticks. These are her true mattes, and you know, they're really quite pink and rosy, so I won't swatch all of them. I'll just pick two here. I have Blush Lightly, and indeed it's quite pink, rosy. It almost looks like, so this is plum, pink plum. It actually appears more plum and purple on camera. When I look at it like this, it's definitely more of a deep pink. But her true mattes really do go on, and the pigment is just like, it's just like a velvet true matte that covers the lips. So it's really something else, her formula. And then a second Lisa Eldridge comparison is Velvet Petal. Velvet Petal might actually have some closer shade similarities to Alina Sand and Fanny Rose, although it is notably more pink. Earlier, when we were looking at Fanny Rose, I thought that maybe I have a dupe of this in satin finish from Hermes, and that lipstick is called, it's 17 Beige Ébloui. This was my favorite lipstick for some time, so I'm just gonna swatch it up here. Ooh. It's close. It is close. Let's see. I mean, it's close. This is more mauvey and this is more pink. Wow. I'm kind of impressed. I mean, I guess there's a reason why we keep buying lipsticks that are similar in shade, because you're just drawn to a range and you just keep buying them from different brands in that range. It's not the same, but it's close. And yes, as I look at it a bit more, this is definitely more pink. This is more mauvey. But I'm not upset about that. I'm actually pretty happy of the discovery. Well, several minutes have passed since I've put on this transfer proof My Peach lipstick, and so I'd like to test for you to see just how transfer proof it is. So I have a tissue here. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. A little bit of transfer, but I'm going in. It doesn't look like it, but I'm really trying to get some pigment off of it. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and wipe it, right? This is an exaggeration. You're not gonna really do that unless you're trying to somehow reapply. In that case, you would just need some makeup remover or even just these makeup eraser with water to really help. So just say at the end of dinner, you're gonna go and wipe your lips instead of dabbing. So definitely when you go in with that kind of force, you do get a lot more, but you can still see there's still a lot of color and product on there. And I don't recommend doing that because, as we all have experienced, matte lipsticks are more drying. And with something like a transfer proof lipstick, it's going to be even more so. And that doesn't make you feel any better, your lips. But I'm very happy with this shade. Not a fan of the scent, but just really pleased with the whole set of shades they release. There's a lot of options for people of different skin tones to pick through. And like a luxury brand, you get beautiful packaging. So if you've been eyeing these and you're interested, I think it's definitely worthwhile looking into it and picking up a shade or two to try. True to its name, this is transfer proof. Love the shade. If I had to pick a favorite shade out of the three, I think it's gonna be May Peach, the one that I have on now, because I don't have anything like it. Anything that's like orange coral-like is either going to be bright coral, bright orange, or a brick orange, and this is none of those. It's kind of like in between. So I like that. It's just something different in my collection. However, the shade I would wear on a day-to-day is going to be Fanny Rose. So I think Alina San, while beautiful, is probably not going to be a shade I'll be wearing too often, because when it comes to satin lipsticks, I just have a lot of choices to pick from, and I don't think it's going to be top of mind for me. Beautiful shade though, definitely. Final matte lipstick I do want to compare against is actually from Suku. You don't hear often about their sheer matte lipsticks, but I actually think they're quite different from anything on the market. In some ways they're similar to Korean matte lipsticks, but then they're in kind of a league of their own. It's also contradicting to call them sheer but matte at the same time, because when we think of sheer, we don't think of matte lipsticks. We should think of like, you know, tinted balms or like very emollient satin lipsticks. But I have here shade 102, and I feel like, you know, just as I said, I don't have anything that's similar to my peach. We might find some similarities with this 102 here. It's more of a brick orange than the, you know, coral or peachy shade, if you will. I think it's also very appropriately named. But I did want to show you. And can you tell that it is a bit more sheer than, you know, this matte lipstick here, any of these matte lipsticks here? It is a bit more sheer. It allows for your natural lip color to come through, and that's something just really different from any other brand that I have seen launch matte lipsticks, other than some Korean brands. So there's my first impressions review of these Gucci lipsticks. I think they did a really great job with the tones and offering, and also making them available in different finishes. You can definitely take your pick. The finish that has the most shades, 5 new shades of this kind of neutral group, is going to be in the satin finish, which makes sense because I think that's more popular anyway. So thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think of these lipsticks. I will see you again very soon. Take care. Bye.